Hello, I'm Connie Rotella, and welcome to our Triple Threat podcast. I'm super excited to begin this journey with all of you. Are you ready to put your best foot forward and show up with confidence? This tool is here to help you evolve into the artist you are meant to be. Just always remember to believe, become, and be ready. Add a new skill set or refine what you already know. So here we go. Today I have a special guest. I've been dying to interview Barnev Valsaint, singing with one of our most talented voices of Quebec, which is Celine Dion, but Barnev has been with her on tour for the last, I don't know how many years, but we are going to get to speak to Barnev Valsaint, artist, singer, songwriter. Welcome, Barnev, to Industry Talk.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I'm so excited to really speak to you about, the journey.
Industry stuff.
The industry stuff. So Barnev, before you hit it on stage and toured with Celine and did all these amazing things, can you tell us how you started in this industry?
Well, when I was going to college, I was doing a lot of shows in Montreal. Montreal used to be a town where there used to be at least 2 or 3 shows a week, different shows, different variety shows, contests, college shows. There used to be a show every week that you would want to go to. So I just, participated in a lot of different shows, just performing all over Montreal. And one day, a friend of mine came up to me and he asked me, he goes, would you be interested to record a song with us? And the name of the group was Dubmatic. And the first song that we wrote, I went over to his house. I went over to their house, the way they had equipment, studio equipment and stuff like that. And they had already had the music to the song. And that day we just sat down and we wrote the song. And then a couple of days later, we went to the studio to record it. And it was just like overnight success almost, like the song just like blew up. And it was really, really surprising because hip hop in Quebec was not, I would say, it was not really accepted. It wasn't played on the radio. You didn't hear too much of it. To hear hip hop, you had to go to McGill College and have the community radio. People, like, just different people would play their own, what they liked. That's how you heard hip hop. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't very popular. So when we came on the scene, it was just really surprising. And it happened so fast. It
was meant to be when it happened. I remember it was hype. And finally, hip hop culture, like even dancers, I come from a dancing background. I remember the excitement of dancing on songs like that. I remember just the fact that we were hearing it. It was transformative for us here. How do you feel that it has grown? Like how many years we're going back how many years now with Dubmatic?
It's early 2000s, like end of 1999, around there, 98, 99.
Exactly. It was a French album.
I was singing in English, the choruses. Now it's a whole new world. Hip hop in Quebec is prevalent. It has its place. It's playing on the radio. People are touring. I'm not sure if a lot of people can, make a career out of it yet. Mm-hmm. Some people, yes. But I think it's getting to the point where people can start thinking about, I want to become an artist and coming out and doing a career out of it,
Right.
But I think it's getting there. It's the early stage, but I feel like the hip hop community has grown so much that it's promising. It's promising.
So are you happy of where we are at now with the hip hop culture, the hip hop community? Or do you think we still have a lot of work to do?
We still have a lot of work to do. I think, the day where we're going to have our own radio station, I think it's going to change the whole game. We need to have our own outlet. True. I think that's going to set the standards. And because people don't really have a standard here in Quebec when it comes to hip hop, okay, well, where's the bar? You know what I mean? So it's like people are just doing music just because they love it. You know what I mean? There is a huge community. But we're basing our sound with France and the United States. We're like right in the middle. You know what I
Right.
mean? So we're not at a certain level where you say, okay, well, this is Montreal sound. That's the Montreal sound. You know, and that's where I would love for the music industry to be. You know, that we have a sound that, okay, well, these guys they're from RDP, or these guys were from the West Island. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it would be great to say those things and to get there. You know, and I believe we will, but it's just going to take a little bit of time. You know?
Do you think whatever's coming up for you will maybe change that?
I don't know. I really don't know. The music industry is the weirdest thing. You know, you like something, you come out with it, and it doesn't do anything. You come up with a song that you never think that would be a hit, and it's the biggest hit ever. You know, it's like, it's like you do not know what people are gonna do, people are gonna say, how they're gonna receive it. You don't know.
It's like the day that you launch it, you don't know what the energy of everybody is. It could be like, yes, this is going to be the best thing ever. Or it's going to be like, oh, it's another song.
Yeah, exactly. But, I feel I'm a very big believer. Like, the star has to be aligned,
Yes.
like there's certain things that happen in sequence. And if their light shines on you, it's just your time. Everybody has their own time, and I think that for us, when it happened, everything was aligned in a way where, okay, well, this is going to be something big. We should monopolize on that and just keep on going, because at that time I was still trying to figure out like what I was going to do with my life. Like, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, should I stay in school? You know what I mean? So I didn't. You know what I mean?
Like, I know what you mean, but you were lucky because your first hit at this game of life,
first
song was a success. Crazy,
huge success, and we just got classic of the millennium or something like that.
Congratulations!
So thank you. Domatic is they're very special guys, and we went through a lot of things together on tour. We have a lot of great memories.
What other opportunity came your way that was amazing?
Oh man, I got to work with a lot of French artists in Europe, and then all of a sudden I was on tour, and Celine Dion was having an audition for background vocals, and then Grégory Charles, which is a huge Quebec artist, he's a genius. He recommended me. He's like, you guys should check out this guy. He has a nice voice. You guys should check him out. So they called me, and then they asked me if I could come through to the audition. And then I went through the audition, and Celine chose me out of, I don't know, there was about 20 people. And then it happened so fast as well. That one was I had a week to learn the whole entire show. Steps, the voicings, I had to get fitted. I mean, it was really, really fast. But, when you're at that level, things happen super fast.
Barnev, so, I remember we were actually rehearsing on another show together. Do you remember? And this happened, Fernando?
Yes.
We were on it that they had taken you to be the backup vocals, but then after that, this opportunity came, and we were all so happy for you. It was just amazing. Yeah. Obviously, it's night and day, but
yeah. So after the audition, right after the audition, they had just finished the Asian side of the tour, and they were about to go to Europe and then do America.
Wow!
So I had just got on the tour. And for me, it was a dream come true to sing, in front of thousands and thousands of people. And I got a chance to work with one of the biggest stars in the world,
Seriously. And how many years did you work for her?
Well, technically, I'm still working with her.
I know.
But it's been like 20 years, man.
Oh my God. It's like you've grown with Celine. It's like...
Absolutely. I've learned so much. Like, this woman, she does things that you really appreciate, and you really see that she's completely different from a lot of artists. You know, she doesn't take her stardom and her fame and her popularity for granted. She loves her fans, you know what I mean? And she respects her fans. So that's one thing that I can, if I had to take one thing, that's one thing that I took from her, that she doesn't take it for granted. She appreciates everything that she has. And she knows that her fans are everything. So she's there, you know, she gives it all, her all.
And we're so proud of her. And, you know, we're proud of you for you. All the three back vocalists on Celine's show are all from Montreal. So just to say Montreal talent it's just unbelievable. And the fact that we get all these opportunities to go do what we love to do all over the world, I think it's amazing. And you're all so humble. Look at you taking time out of your busy schedule to speak to Connie. Let me speak to Connie.
Anything for Connie. Anything for Connie.
I mean, how amazing is that? But you know what? The stars aligned, divine timing. We're speaking about all this, but Barnev, your life has been just like one hit of a success after another. So you're going to have to start talking to me about the real deal now.
I was talking to a friend of mine and I was like, you know what? If you really sit down to look at my past and what I've done and what I've achieved, I mean, I've lived, because I've seen things that I would never think that I would see. I've been to all continents, you know, I've traveled the world, and that's, to me, it's a dream come true, because I've always wanted to travel and I've always wanted to see the world and to see different cultures and to mingle with just different people, you know. It's just amazing what I've been able to achieve.
And what is next for you?
I've been working on my album for years, and it's just like, I feel like now, for some reason, I feel like it's COVID just gave me that that time to reflect and the time to come up with exactly what I wanted, you know. And before, I was going from producer to producer, working with different people, having different sounds. But now I feel like I have something that people can appreciate and say, okay, well, this, whenever you hear it, you're going to say, well, this is Barnev. That's one of the most important things for me, like to have an identity and to have a sound and be on my own for the first time, not have to depend on anybody else to try, you know, on a track. So that's the next step for me, is definitely coming out with an album, an LP or EP. And we'll see, you know, like one thing leads to another, you know. For me right now is to work on the album, and I'm almost done, you know, so we'll see what happens.
You know what your journey, of course, me looking at from the outside, your journey has always been one success after the other. And the fact that your album, yes, it's taken a long time to find your sound, maybe, or finally what you just said is find your voice, find who Barnev is, the sound.
It's important. I just, you know, I could have came out with 10 albums by now, you know, and maybe one of them would have been a success. Maybe all of them would have been flops, but I don't know. But all I know is that for myself, I have to be content. I have to be happy with the product that I release. You know what I mean? So so many artists that I know out of necessity, because, you know, they have to feed their family. They have to do this. They have to do that. You know, they have no choice. But me, I have choices. You know, I'm thankful because I'm able to have a job that pays me well, and I can live off of that. So for me, the album is going to be something that's for fun. It's fun for me to release something that I approve and that I'm so happy and proud to represent. So that's where I'm at right now. You know, I work with a lot of people in Montreal and great talented people, and I'm finally at the stage where I can say, yeah, this is it. You know.
Doesn't that feel good when you're finally at that stage going, this is who I am, this is what I'm going to represent, and I'm ready to go out full out? Yeah.
I love it. This is, a lot of people sometimes they don't understand. They say, you know, Barnev, why didn't you come out with an album? It wasn't time, you know, it's not time. It's just not the time to, you know, just release something just for the hell of it. I don't want to do that.
Do you believe that your stars were always aligned, Barnev?
Absolutely. It's weird because sometimes they say, well, if you want something, you need to go get it, right?
Yeah.
It's true, but it's easier said than done, right? But for me, I've always been a dreamer. You know, I've always dreamt about touring around the world and singing and using my voice as my tool for my profession. And then that's not very easy to do in Quebec, you know, especially being kind of like Anglophone. I speak French because, you know, it's my first language, but I'm still comfortable in English. And here in Quebec, the language barriers is very, very complicated. It's very hard to come out and to be successful. And for me to have that chance, and for me to be accepted in the music industry, it's a blessing, you know, and you have to accept that. And I feel like I've always had like a guardian angel somewhere watching over me and just making sure that my decisions are correct, you know, because I feel like every decision that you make guides you to the path that you're meant to be on, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel like I've taken good decisions. I'm surrounded by great people. And I think that's the secret, you know, surround yourself with great people that want you to succeed, and they help you to achieve the goal that you want. So I think, like you said, yeah, I think that, yeah, the stars have always been aligned for me, I feel.
You know what? It's just so beautiful because artists that are going to be listening right now, and I know how many people look up to you and want to hear your story because a lot of them struggle. But in your case, look at you. They came to handpick you, like literally, like always handpick you. Like, you know, like everybody has to work hard, and your work and your discipline is amazing. You actually work hard every day, and you are so humble and such an amazing person. Why wouldn't no, you know, like everybody wants to work with Barnev. Hello, it's B, it's a big teddy bear. Like I've actually seen him twice in Vegas, in the Vegas show too. And I follow his career all the time. So I've known Barnev for a long time. But just to say, other artists that are listening in don't have the same success story as you, where for you, it's like it just happened. People always referred you. People picked you. They wanted you. Now you're working. You had all this beautiful time to marinate your voice into this beautiful album that you will share with all of us in the upcoming year. Is it coming out soon?
Yeah. I'm hoping before the summer to release a song.
That's going to be amazing. Oh my God, stay tuned. This is going to be great. You can't tell the title, right? It's not out there yet.
No, I have no idea what the title's going to be. But right now, songs, you know, I don't have an album yet. I have a lot of songs. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, sometimes a lot of kids, they come up to me and they ask me, you know, what did you do, or how did you do it? You know, everyone has a different path. Everyone has I would say a path to success, and it is, you can't reproduce my success or anybody else's success. It's not possible. You got to go through your own. So I would say the more you believe in yourself, the more it doesn't even matter what happens, because you're doing something that you love. And by doing something that you absolutely love, it doesn't feel like it's work. So once you've passed that notion, it doesn't matter what you get out of it. You're gonna love what you do, and eventually it's gonna pay off, because the amount of work that you put in it's gonna come out eventually. You know what I mean? So the more focused you are, the more dedicated you are, the more work you put in. And that's in everything. It's not just in music. Everything, you practice, you put in work, you're dedicated, and you're serious about it. Even if you get, I don't know, a teacher's salary, doing something that you love, you're going to appreciate it. You know what I mean? So I think that's the one lesson I can give to someone that is starting. Just do what you love passionately and give it your all, you know, give it your all.
Yeah. And Barnev, because of this 2-year pandemic that we've been living, a lot of artists had to shift. They lost that passion. They've worked. They were hard workers. They're angry. The emotions obviously are in the way, so they can't even see straight anymore. They can't even understand, like, where's this passion lie? Like, where does it go now?
For me, I used it as a motivation. I didn't let the bad news get to me too much. Of course, it's hard to stay at home and it plays with your mind. You know what I mean? That you can't go out and you can't see your people, you can't see your friends. It's hard. But for me, I used it as motivation, and I used it to better myself. I'm playing guitar. I'm just trying to expand my mind, and I'm trying to focus on what I want to do. It's easier said for me because, I've been working at this for a very long time. I've collected a lot of equipment throughout the year, so I have the stuff to do it. Not everybody is fortunate enough to have equipment at home and they can do it themselves. But you could write songs, you could, come up with melodies, ideas, so that way when things really do open up, you have the opportunity to collaborate and you already have a whole bunch of material that you have, So always use it as an advantage. I say use it as an advantage,
Exactly. I found that these last 2 years was a gift for everyone, because not only did we were able to connect, but the ones that were really passionate found each other. And that passion, when you're in a community, it just grows and grows and grows. Like we're coming out even stronger because we're ready for the industry. Some of them are coming out being lost, and some of them are going to come out winning.
The human race, like we're born to adapt. That's what we do. We adapt. So there's different ways now that I can work with people from LA with Zoom or just exchanging files. We find different ways to work, even though we're not in the same room. It's not the same thing, obviously. I understand that, but you got to do what you got to do.
What is your favorite thing about the industry?
My favorite thing for me is performing.
Yeah.
I've always been a performer, and being on stage is just nothing like it. You get such a great response. People appreciate the work you put into it.
It feels like home, right? When we watch you on stage, it feels like home.
It really does. It really does. Like that, those 5 minutes before the show, those jitters that you have, it's like you're happy you have those jitters because it keeps you on your toes, it keeps you motivated, it keeps you going. And then you get on stage and everybody's screaming and everything's working and everything's great. It's just, there's nothing like it. People, they're singing lyrics that you wrote.
Yeah.
They're loving what you've done. It's just, there's nothing like performance.
But the jitters are still there, Barnev.
Absolutely. If they're not there no more, then that means you need to stop. You need to stop. Yeah. The jitters is very important. It's very important.
Yeah, it's the adrenaline rush. And your mission, when you see all that happening on stage, do you feel like you accomplish the purpose of doing what you do?
Oh, man. There's so much work that goes into a show. I mean, you know better than anyone. So putting together a show requires a lot of energy, requires a lot of time. And whenever you're at the point where you're about to open those curtains, you're so nervous. But then there's something that comes over you, and then it's like a sort of energy that's exchanged with the audience.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like it, And then after the show, there's so many different types of emotion. For me, after a show, it takes me about an hour or two to calm down.
Yeah.
Your show, because it's so much adrenaline going through your body. You're so excited, and it takes a long time for you to calm down. But it's nothing like performing. It's nothing.
Oh
A
my
lot of
God, if
people.
you only could see his face while he's saying that, because I'm seeing
Yeah,
him face to face, and he has just a
yeah,
huge smile on his face, and he's so
yeah.
lovable and cuddle. What would be one of your least favorite things, if you have?
The least favorite thing is called show business, right?
Oh,
The show part is the most exciting part. The business side of it is probably the worst part because there's so many loops, there's so many there's so many different little things that you have to watch out for. There's so many different little things that you don't know about, that you have no idea that you're signing. So for me, the business side of it is not. That's why a lot of most artists have managers. They have people to look over their interests. But that side is not my favorite side.
no.
Everybody's out to get something from you.
It's something we weren't taught here in Montreal, because if I look at my friends down in New York or LA, you can tell the business side is very, very strong.
Well, now it is because of internet just opened up a lot of different avenues for artists when it comes to releasing, when it comes to knowing what you're signing, knowing about your publishing, knowing about your contracts. There's a lot of information basically that back, when we started, there wasn't that much information. You had to go to the library and read about it.
Right.
And even if you read it, you didn't quite understand it. Because it's very, very complicated language. They make it in a way where you can't understand it, so that way you don't have any questions. So that, I would say, is the part that I like the least.
Right. And what would you suggest? How do we get all this information for some artists that are starting off?
Well, now it's everywhere. You just have to inform yourself, go to seminars if you can, read about the industry. It's available everywhere now.
You're right.
The internet is there to inform about anything you want to know. So even though you know what you're signing, always protect yourself. Get an entertainment lawyer if you're getting a deal from a label or with a manager. Always try to get the best information and the best deal for yourself, because everything is negotiable. A lot of people are going to tell you, well, this is standard, and no. Me, I don't do the standard thing. No, you have to negotiate, because it's your livelihood. Some people, if they knew, they would be set for life.
Yes.
I was just reading the other day that Snoop Dogg, one of the biggest hip hop artists in the world, was only getting paid to do shows. He didn't get paid to have a record. Like his records, he didn't have publishing. When he wrote so many hits, he wrote so many records that this guy could be in Saint-Tropez on a beach every day just collecting checks. You know what I mean?
Totally.
It's insane. It's insane that, when you're young, they tell you that you have your whole life ahead of you.
Right.
But the music business is not that, that long. You don't have such a lasting period. You only have a few years, especially when you have hits like Snoop. Like, this guy was the man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So honestly, he would be set for the rest of his life if he had his business correct.
running at an early stage. Because you said at the beginning you're a dreamer. What else are you dreaming of? What else do you want to achieve? Because you're still young in this career, even if
Absolutely. I'm a photographer. That's another one of my passions.
Yeah.
I think that's probably gonna be my phase 2. Like, after I retire from the music industry, I'm probably always gonna be a photographer. That's another dream of mine. Just to travel the world
and take pictures.
Take pictures. I've already taken so many great pictures, honestly, because I've had the opportunity to to go to amazing countries and cities. But there's so much out there that I wanna see for myself. Africa is definitely one of my favorite places to go because the animals and just everything
freedom,
about
nature.
Yeah, it's just magic. It's definitely a magic place for me. So I want to go there. The sooner the better. You know, I have a friend of mine that goes with me every time I go on these long trips, and we were talking about going back to Kenya, and we're like just talking about it got us excited. You know, we're waiting for this COVID thing to just end.
Yes.
But we could just come back and just do our normal things, you know? So we're just...
Hey, Barnev, you're going to be so busy because if you're launching your album before summertime and it's going to be a #1 hit, watch out.
Listen, I hope my album can bring me there so I can take a vacation while I'm on tour.
That's definitely going to happen because literally your stars are aligned. I can't see why all these dreams of yours. Like, how lucky are you? How blessed are you? And I know you're such a grateful person that I am so happy when we hear these positive stories, because we always tend to hear everything that's negative and everything that doesn't work. And I'm like, no, there's so many things that do work, but why is it that we never promote or publish these ones? You know, so it's finally time.
Don't get me wrong. I've done certain things that hasn't worked. Not everything that I do is a success. I'm human, you know, like, you know, but me, I put my 100% in everything that I do, even though sometimes you release certain things and doesn't give you the results that you're looking for. You shouldn't be discouraged. You should keep on going, you know, dust yourself off, get back on a horse, you know. That's it.
Oh my God. I just adore you. Seriously, Barnev. If there's anything you want to say to the upcoming talent or the people that are in it right now, just like you, if there's anything that you want to just share with them, what would it be?
All I want to say is that Montreal is probably the most underrated city in the world because we have so much talent here in Montreal. I just want to say, just go for it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to have any failures. Don't be afraid of success. Just go for your dream. Me, I've always had that in me, just to go for what I want. So that's one of the only things that I think I would say to the young is just to go for their dream.
I love it. Did you ever have mentors or coaches that were there throughout your life? Yeah.
I've had inspirations. I've had coaches. I've had my uncle, my family. It's mostly my family though. I've looked up to my dad. My dad was a musician. My mom was a singer. So ever since I was a little kid, I was always looking up to them. And they used to perform in church and do concerts with the church and stuff like that. But I've always looked up to them and had my admiration for them and appreciation.
So stay tuned. Your album is coming out. Is it always in the, obviously, hip hop? This is your album.
Probably no. It's not gonna be hip hop. It's gonna be like R&B.
Yes.
Pop. Yeah.
I am so excited to hear it. I am going to be rooting for you, and all of us are going to be cheering for you, Barnev, because it's exciting. You can't see us right now, but we both are wearing a red top.
Red.
And I think you look so cute. And I know how busy he is, and I know you have to go back and do some more writings and some more producing and whatever you're doing. But I do wish you the best success in the upcoming years with all of your projects and dreams, Barnev. You are such a gift to our community here. And thank you for being so wonderful and sharing your story in such an open and honest way.
I want to thank you too, Connie, because you're doing so much for our community with the kids. I know your history. You've done so many shows, and you're giving back, and you're always there for people. And you have a great family, and we want to thank you too, because you do a lot behind the scenes. People don't usually see what's going on behind the scenes, but I know personally what you're doing. So congratulations on all your success with your companies and all that. So thank you too.
That is very sweet, because of behind the scenes, nobody sees them. Only the
That's
people that know and hear about it know
That's
what
right.
the
That's
behind the
right.
scenes are. And
That's
that,
right.
you know, it's one thing knowing the business, but it's another thing knowing what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah.
That's right. So much work that goes into these things. A lot of people sometimes they only see the end result. So they think that, yeah, we just put this together. It's like, yeah, no, there's a lot of work that goes into this, you know?
It's the whole hype. And, you know,
Yeah.
one day, I hope soon, because I have projects and dreams of my own, where I'm going to be able to go back and educate people on step A to step Z, you know, like,
Yeah.
I think now we're rushing to fame, and we're rushing. You see, like, the way you're taking your time to launch this album that represents you and that you're proud of. Some people are rushing because they think it's good today, but is it really who you are? Like, you know, like, it's just, we're going too fast in this super fast world of even showcasing a minute of singing on these TikToks, which is great. This is a way that the new casting way is going to happen.
Yeah.
But who is able to do 8 shows a week anymore? Who's able to endure 8 hours a day of rehearsals? Who is actually able to send out breakdowns and good material of good auditions? Like, I mean, it's just going so fast.
Exactly.
The real deal is hard. So one day we'll bring you back to all that, you know, going back to the roots, going back to the foundation.
That's it.
Well, thank you so much for your time, Barnev. I love you, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you. You too, man. I appreciate everything. Thank you for having me. Thank you.